All right. Do you have the link to the docs?
Hmm. I got it.
Okay. All right.
So there is an undirected star graph consisting of n nodes labeled from 1 to n. A
Uh-huh.
star graph is a graph where there is one center node and exactly n minus 1 edges that can connect the center node with every other node. You are given a 2D integer array where edges I equals to u, comma v, indicates that there is an edge between nodes ui and vi. Return to the center of example star graph 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 2. That is 1, 2, 3, then 3, 4, and then 4, 2. Output is 2. As shown in the figure, node 2 is connected to every node, so 2 is the center. And in this is 1, 2, 5, 1, 1, 3, 1, 4. All right, so how I'm going to approach this, I'm thinking of creating two variables that would store these two values, let's say 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would iterate to the second element, and then I would see which one of these elements, like which one of these, like either 1 or 2 is common in the next element of the list or of the array. Let's say 2 is common, so I'll create another integer, like I'll create a third, let's say variable that will store 2, and then I would iterate again, and I would check if 2 is still in there or not. If 2 is not present in the third element, like in the third one or in the later one, I will change the third variable that I had created, and by the time I iterate through the whole list, or let's in this case the whole array, I will have the element that is the number that is common in that is connected to all of the other numbers.
Okay. Um, if you know it's a star graph, well, I don't know. Am I allowed to like say anything during the interview?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, never mind. I don't want to like go away and answer.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
So, like, do I need to code in the Google Slides like
Yeah,
here?
they said you have to code in the Google Docs. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just code here.
Oh, sorry. Let me give you the starter code. Actually, that's my bad. Um,
Can you repeat?
sorry. I was supposed to give you some starter code. That's
Oh, okay, that helps.
yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so in find center. Okay. So in first in and then the j equals to 0. J is less than edges I size and j plus. Okay, let's see. So I can do it like this. For equals to Wait, I don't need this. I can just I just second one. I do this. If also do second okay, I can do this happens. Equals to, 0 just to initialize it and just to check
Yeah.
if main equals to second, then quickly continue. Else if first yeah, main equals to second, um can first I think I can do this everything. If let's say first equals to temp first, then main equals to temp first. Else if second equals to second, main equals to second. I think this should do because either one of the conditions would be true. So my approach to this question is I create three variables and I would initialize, let's say, the first elements of these. That's like 0, like taking a look at this one. So let's say this is first, this is second, and just for the sake of it, one is the first one. And then it goes inside a loop where it creates two temporary variables to whom I assign the first to whom I assign the first and the second uh element of each iteration. And then I have four if else conditions in which one of them would be true. Either my current main would be equal to this number. If this is, then I don't need to do anything. I can just continue. Otherwise, my initial main would be equal to the a temporary second element, which is um this. But even if this is not the case, like even if this is the case, then I can just continue. But even if this is not the case, let's say the main is neither equal to the first one nor to the second one, then I'll check if my first element, like this, is equal to the temporary first of this, or if this is equal to this. I also need to add two more conditions to just to check if my initial first is equal to my temporary second, or if my initial second is equal to my temporary first. So total of six else if conditions, and one of them would definitely be true, and that is how we would figure out which one is the most common element.
So
So first is
which value are you going to be returning
hmm?
to find
Can you
which
please repeat?
value would you be returning?
Oh, main. I would
Okay.
update main by, and at the end of the day, I would repeat. I would return main.
Okay.
Then once this for loop ends, uh, it can just return. I think this is the solution.
Yeah, that's one solution. That should work. I'm pretty sure. But I will say, so because you know that the star graph, um, just I don't know if you're discrete math, like a star graph by definition, all nodes have to be connected to one node. So you actually only need to check two nodes because you can just look at so like 4, 2 and 1, 2, for example. You know
Hmm.
that they both will have two. Only two can be the common element. So you can actually just do like A, B, C, D, and then if A is equal to C, if A is equal to D, return A. Otherwise, return B. And like that's it. It's an you can do that. That's an O of one solution.
That is actually that's actually right. My program could have been way more efficient if I had done it that way.
Yeah, but it's
But
just
there are two
you have the same
solutions.
idea. It's just you're checking all of them. That's all. Yeah.
You're right.
Okay. I figured that one would be pretty fast. So this one's definitely harder. Um. Uh, yeah. I'll let you read it.
Yeah. Were you gonna say something?
No, I was just gonna say. Okay. Well, there's one solution to this that I feel like is cheating. Um. But it's on leak code, so I guess you can use it. But I mean, if you think of it, it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a
All
big deal.
right.
If you do it, it doesn't matter. If it's valid, it's valid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So can I get started with the second question then?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Given two integers, arrays pushed and popped, each with distinct values, return true. If this could have been the result of sequence of push and pop operations on an initially empty stack, or false otherwise. Input 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pushed 4, 5, 3, 2, 1, output true. You might do the following sequence: push 1, 2, 3, 4, pop 4, push 5, pop 5, pop 3, pop 2. Input 1, 2, 3, 4 popped equals to 1 cannot be popped before 2. Okay, because it would be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can I open MS Paint so that I can like understand this question?
Yeah. 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 It might be best if you share your screen then, so that way they can see like your work.
Hmm.
I'll
Okay.
stop sharing. So you can share.
Screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
It's loading. Yeah, I can see. I can see.
So, copying quiz. Okay, so Given two integers push and pop, each with distinct values, return true if this could have been the result of a sequence of push and pop operations or initially empty stack, or otherwise push 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, popped 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. So we might do the following sequence. So in this question, do I have to check if my expected push and expected pop functions match? Let's say there's a stack in which I push first 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and then 5. Since it's a stack, if I pop, I'll first see 5, then I'll see 4, then I'll see 3, then I'll see 2. Do I have to check that?
All it's asking is that it's a possible solution. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's not popped in the, it doesn't have to be popped in the, or pushed in the exact same order. So like in the example, they're pushing 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then they're popping 4, then adding 5. So it's just saying, is it a possible solution? It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be exactly in order.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so one way I can think of is making a stack or just making an array-based stack and keeping the track of the last element in the array. And whenever the pop function is called, I can check if the pop is equal to the top element or not. If it is, then I can continue with the loop. Otherwise, I can just straightforward return false. And once I go through the whole list, and if there's nothing is false, then I can just return true.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good.
Oh, my bad. So programming quiz 5. Can you provide me with the starter code?
Oh, yes. Sorry. That's my bad.
Solution validates stack sequences pushed and popped. Okay, so we are actually given a vector. Okay. Cannot be popped before 2 at all. So let's say I push 1 and then I push 2. There's no way I will be able to. But in this case, I push till 4, and if it's up afterwards, that's why I was able to pop 4. 1, if I push 1 and pop 1 and push 2. Okay, here is something I don't get about this. So if we see this right, like
Yeah.
the first test case, so 5 is definitely after 4, but we can like okay, no, my bad, I got it. I see what's
Okay.
happening. 4, 5, 4, 5, and this is 1, 2, and this is I'll start with the basic structure just to see if it. Okay, so that how I'm thinking of approaching this. First, I would first try to implement the code if we are pushing and popping in an order. And once I do that part, I'll try to write the code uh for this case, in case we are like pushing and then popping and then pushing again. Hmm.
If you have any questions or like want any like I don't know tips or something, just ask.
Yeah, for sure. For like 0, size, I, workflow. If post I equals to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so uh, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, but this would create an error over here. Okay, so given this code, it would only return, it would only work in case we are first pushing all of the elements in the given list in order and then popping all of these elements.
Mhm.
But it would fail for this part. This
Yeah.
is I'm trying to figure out that how can I make it work?
I think it's to get more information, you could try looking at the how to say it, like the relationship between the order of numbers in the popped and pushed arrays. I don't know if that's giving away too much, but yeah, I can help.
Mm-hmm. You said the relationship between the numbers in push and pop, right?
Yeah, the relationship between the order of numbers between pushed
Hmm.
and popped.
I
That's not
see.
really giving away anything. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so in case let's say I pop this first and then I push it. So it would be right after it. Let's say I pop one, then I pop 3, then I pop 5, and then 2. This I pushed 1, push 2, push 3, pushed 4, then popped 4, then popped 3, and then popped, then pushed 5, and I popped 5, and then I can only pop 2 rather than popping 1. So that might be a problem. Let's see how I can do this one. I pushed 1, I pushed 2, I pushed 3, pushed 4, and popped 4. Hmm. Go here. It would run through this. It would be 0. It would be 1. It would continue. Then it would go here. It would go here, here, and here. But okay, maybe I can just put another condition to check what's the first element of popped and just to check it till there. Maybe that will work. Let's see.
Right back. All right, sorry, I'm back.
It's all right. Height is what? Font. So I come till here, it will stop at 4. Okay, so I added this. What will this do? It will keep checking, it will keep comparing the pushed and the pop elements till it reaches the first element of the pop function. So it will validate 1, 2, 3, and 3, 2, 1 if these three elements are popping in the right order or not. Then I just need to figure out a way that how I can validate 4 and 5 as well.
Yeah, I think you're relying too much. Well, I think you're assuming. Well, you're not assuming it, but if you try to check them in order like that, just like seeing that one, two, three is just in reverse order, then you're
Mhm.
gonna run into a lot. I think a lot of problems. Um, I don't think that's the best approach.
Right. So what else can I do if comparing them in order is not the best approach?
So I think probably using its stack itself might actually be the best thing to check if it's a valid stack sequence.
Hmm.
There's probably a way to do it with arrays, like by iterating through it, but um, using the actual stack will make things a lot easier.
Okay. Let me think of making. Okay, so a stack 1, 2, 3, 4, and reach stop pushing it when I reach there, and then I pop in the reverse order. Are we allowed to take a look at the documentations?
Sorry, what would you say?
Are we allowed to take a look at the documentations?
Oh, for C++? plus?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right.
It's just a SCD stack. So.
template class E class stack.
What are you trying to do?
I'm just trying to see like how do I make an integer stack?
Oh, you just do so it's like a vector. You just do stack and then the greater than integer less than. That's all.
Uh,
Yeah,
can
so
you say that again?
it's just, I could just it's just stack and then that's all.
Uh, thank you.
No problem.
Okay. Push this.
Oh crap. My laptop's about to die. Give it a second. I'm gonna plug it in. I'm just gonna mute.
Mhm.
All right, laptop is charging.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 4, it would stop pushing in the stack.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, and then I can try to pop and check it, check with this number, and then I can push the later elements. Hmm.
I think you're on the right track.
Mm. Mm. Okay. And then okay, I need to refer to the documentation for vectors to check how to remove an element from a vector
You just do remove and then the index. So
like this.
yeah. Yeah.
All right, thank you. I'll remove 0 and then remove this and then it's this. So okay. Reached goes to 0. Continue. I don't need this one. And yep, this is this. This is this. And you can return to.
Yeah, that
Also,
was good.
okay, so this is how I'm thinking of doing this. I create a stack called new stack, and I create an integer which is reached, and it's taking the first value of the popped vector, which is 4 here. I would run a for loop that is going to iterate through the push vector, and it would push the values in the new stack. And after it pushes into the stack, it will check if the value that I pushed in the stack is equal to the reached value. Let's say, so it will go on like this: 1, 2, 3, and 4. And after it pushes 4, and it will see that the reached is equal to 4. That means that the reached variable, the variable that I have pushed last in my list, is actually first in the pop variable. So now I need to check if I pop this out, would it match with this or not? So I would call the pop function in the if condition. So, and I'll check if new stack.pop, because pop function returns the removed integer. If this is equal to pop 0, and if this is equal to pop 0, then I would remove the first element of pop, because we have already checked 4, so I don't need it anymore. And I want the next first instant of popped to be 3 rather than 4. So I would remove it. And then I would create the new reached, which would be the new number. In this case, it would be 5. And then I would just continue it. In case the element that I have popped is not equals, this equality does not hold true, it will directly return false. And if this whole for loop goes on without any anomaly, in the end of the day, it would return true.
Yeah, that's the right solution. Good job. All right. Let's see. I think we have to do a reflection. Let's see. Okay, and then actionable feedback for the interviewee. What went well? What can the candidates improve upon? Um, I think you did well in like breaking down the problem. I think a lot of times, well, the first question and the second question, I feel like you can get a little. I think your solutions work. I think sometimes you make them more complicated. That's all. Yeah, that's all.
Mm-hmm. I
Um,
definitely need to work on making my solutions more efficient.
yeah, that's all. I think if you just drew things out some more, it would be good. Like when you started
Mm-hmm.
working on this paint, like you got it. So yeah. What strengths did you observe? You're really good at like looking in your head, I think. Um, you like you get the right solution. You understand what's happening. But yeah, like you said, I just think it's making it a little bit more simple. It'd be easier for you to work with. How can your interview improve problem solving? We did that. Reflecting the quality of questions. Ask when trying to solve the problem. Um, I I kind of wish you would ask me some more questions. That's all. Yeah, I think because you didn't really ask them any. But on the other hand, I think that these questions were also very straightforward, so I don't know if there was much clarification needed. So yeah, that is my feedback. Okay. Um, okay. I'm gonna end the recording. That should be good.